This year's carnival is anticipated to be safe and crime-free. Local event planners are being trained to put on eco-friendly events, and we will bring you a special report on 2014, the Year of Seeds. Welcome to National Focus. I'm Kimani.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after this.
If you can believe this,
come by my house and let me show you some movies.
Why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
Welcome back. Local event planners are being trained to put on eco-friendly activities thanks to a collaboration of environmentalists. The Global Environment Facility, under its Small Grants Program, the Adult Education Division, the LAYU Improvement Committee, and the Environmental Coordinating Unit have partnered to offer a professional development certificate in green events planning and management. The Honorable Minister for Social Services, Catherine Daniel, sees the initiative as promoting self-sufficiency.
I think this is a great opportunity for the retooling of people, because we need to provide skills to our people so that they can be self-sufficient. There's a saying which goes, opportunity lost can never be regained. And I'm very happy that the participants have made it their business and have taken the opportunity to find themselves getting the skills and knowledge required for the implementation of hosting green events.
President of the LAYU Improvement Committee, Lazar Charles, was also speaking at the opening ceremony this morning.
We recognize that our activities and activities organized by other communities affects each other and can potentially have negative effects on the environment if we are not cognizant of that. Of course, we continue with our plans, but want to place greater emphasis on sustainability. We have therefore partnered with the Adult Education Division to provide educational opportunities to equip 25 event organizers on the West Coast with the knowledge and skills necessary to participate effectively as event partners and managers to help manage the image of Dominica as a natural island in the world.
The courses to be held during this 6-week program include events marketing and tourism, understanding the relationship between climate change and events planning, and eco-friendly decoration and wares, among others. Martha Andre is head of the Adult Education Division.
Today, as we offer our contribution to the maintaining and sustaining of Keep Dominica Green, we ask that we unite as one people with a strength and vigor to attract maximum results. It is envisaged that as we set out to empower the participants of this training, that they will experience the innate need to aspire, set trends, and model examples.
Superintendent David Andrew of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is envisioning Carnival 2015 as safe and crime-free as a result of newly introduced measures. The superintendent was speaking at a press conference this morning.
The police, as you know, is the premier law enforcement agency in the country and is charged with the awesome responsibility to ensure that there exists a safe and secure environment for revelers, visitors, and citizens alike. In order to achieve our objective, we will adopt, and I say we will adopt, a robust enforcement posture by establishing and implementing an uncompromising operational strategy throughout the carnival activities. We will seek to reduce the probability of any critical incident through a well-prepared contingency plan.
Crime prevention, intelligence gathering, traffic control and security management at all carnival activities will also constitute this contingency plan. The superintendent revealed that the Honorable Minister for Justice and National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, will issue an order to which persons must adhere.
It is important to note that Carnival Monday and Tuesday will be authorized by an order made by the Minister under Section 5 of the Peace Preservation Act of Chapter 1504. And essentially, it provides the parameters under which persons must operate on those 2 days of jump up. Some of the principles highlight and enshrined therein will also bring to bear on the opening of Carnival as well, which is just a few days off.
Citizens are asked to remember that during the carnival season, the laws and regulations of the Commonwealth of Dominica still apply, and any illegal behavior will be dealt with accordingly.
Notwithstanding the provisions, persons taking part in Carnival can be called to order if the officers on duty believe your behavior is disorderly or if your attitude or behavior is suspicious. He can call you and ask you for your name and address, and if you fail to do so, you can be arrested.
The Millennium Development Goals form a blueprint agreed to by all the world's countries and all the world's leading development institutions in efforts to meet the needs of the world's poorest. At the Millennium Summit in September 2000, the largest gathering of all world leaders in history adopted the UN Millennium Declaration, committing the nations to these 8 goals: eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, achieve universal primary education, promote gender equality and empower women, reduce child mortality rate, improve maternal health, combat HIV/AIDS, malaria and other diseases, ensure environmental sustainability, and develop a global partnership for development. A report from Latin America and the Caribbean states that the region has made significant progress towards meeting the targets included in the Millennium Development Goals. But the recent global crisis has cast doubts about the possibility of achieving them all by 2015. When Dominica's head of state, His Excellency President Charles Savre, addressed the 2014 United Nations General Assembly in September 2014, he relayed to the world leaders that the island has made notable progress in reducing poverty, improving access to education, ensuring environmental sustainability, and building strong bilateral and multilateral partnerships. As it relates to education, Dominica has exceeded the goal's target to achieve universal access to primary education. At present, Dominica boasts universal access to early childhood, primary and secondary school, as well as access to college education for all qualifying applicants. Also, before the end of 2015, the nation will have 100% access to potable water. A new goal to eradicate poverty and maintain sustainable development by 2030 has been drafted by the United Nations Development Programme. The UN is looking to the second phase of its goals to make life better for the people of the world in the post-2015 development agenda. This agenda will build on the Millennium Development Goals and advance development beyond 2015. This includes eradicating poverty by 2030. The UN has therefore created space in the form of 6 dialogues so that interested groups and individuals can contribute ideas and proposals for the implementation of the post-2015 agenda in their countries and at the global level. The UNDP will draw upon the lessons learned and from the experience of countries around the world to convince policymakers that a post-2015 agenda can be implemented. Jarna, in terms of the MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals, countries of the world agreed that they would bring to half the poverty level in the country, and all the other points that we mentioned, the eight goals. One thing that's notable for Dominica is that since 2008 we have achieved one of them, which is universal primary education.
Right.
And we have even gone further in terms of 100% access in terms of early childhood education and secondary education. So we have achieved this goal and we are well on our way to achieving others.
As a matter of fact, goal number 7, to ensure environmental sustainability, I think pretty soon we can say that we have achieved that, because at the time of issuing the National Growth and Social Protection Strategy, it said that we were on our way to achieving goal number 7. But now, with the commencement of work on the Bells Water Supply Project, we're almost there.
Yes.
So by the next issuing of this strategy, by the next update, we would have 2 checkboxes on our report.
That's correct. And one of the goals of the whole plan, the whole Millennium Development Goals, is to eradicate, or I would say, bring down the level of poverty in these countries. And we see that 5 years ago, when a study was done in Dominica, in 2009, we see that extreme poverty is down to 3%. That is from 10% in 2003. So Dominica is doing exceptionally well. While other countries are trying to have that figure, we are almost, we could almost say that we have eradicated extreme poverty in Dominica.
And that was 5 years ago.
5 years
and
ago.
So much has been done since then.
Yes, yes.
The Prime Minister last said that when he next speaks of it, that it will be at 0. And I believe him.
Yes.
He seemed certain.
Yeah.
But as it relates to the other goals, Kimani, the report says that we are on track to achieving all of them. And I think that is quite something, I mean, for a small island. And it's true that small islands, you know, small populations, it might seem easy, but we also have small island challenges that might make it a bit more difficult. So for us to have such a good report with the MDGs, I think we can be used as a model. I think we should pat ourselves on the back.
Definitely.
Moving on, 2014 was dubbed the International Year of Small Island Developing States. This observance aimed to promote sustainable development in small island developing states, highlight the common links between SIDS and other countries to encourage new partnerships, and to achieve a sustainable future for generations to come. In an effort to bring you useful information and highlight the contribution which these islands make to the world, GIS News now brings you a review on 2014, the Year of SIDS. GIS's Tasia Flosak files this report.
Over the past 2 decades, small island developing states, SIDS, have been the topic of discussion in international fora. First recognized as a distinct group of developing countries at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development in June 1992, small island developing states face specific social, economic, and environmental vulnerabilities. As such, the United Nations declared 2014 the International Year of Small Island Developing States with an aim to increase awareness and alleviate these challenges. In this regard, GIS News met with Honorable Minister for Environment, Dr. Kenneth Daru, to review the Year of SIDS 2014. Honorable Daru answers the question that many may have asked: why the focus on small island developing states?
With the advent, or as I said, the peaking of the discussion of climate change, we know that small island developing states would have the special vulnerabilities. Of course, the fact that they are completely surrounded by water in itself would pose quite a challenge, especially the lower lying ones. And we can talk about the Pacific SIDS, where even with rising sea levels, that some of them would already be disappearing. Some coastlands and even some islands have already started disappearing, literally disappearing. Also with the small fragile economies of small island states, that itself would pose a challenge. So coupled with the advent of climate change, we would already be exposed to these natural disasters being more erratic, more intense, more frequent, and on our small fragile economies, meaning our inability to deal with these challenges.
Small island developing states are divided into 3 categories: Caribbean, Pacific, and African and Indian Ocean SIDS. In light of the growing concerns centering on climate change and energy efficiency, Honorable Dr. Daru is confident that the focus on SIDS has directly impacted countries like Dominica. Throughout the year, Dominica has actively and passionately added its voice to attenuating these plights of Caribbean SIDS. He believes that pertinent issues are brought to the international table, particularly as it relates to climate change resilience.
But I think slowly but surely over the past decade or so, the more developed countries would have realized or begin to accept their responsibility, especially as it pertains to the anthropogenic contribution to climate change, because clearly the whole effect of climate change is because of human activity, because of the greenhouse gas emission. And if we look at the emissions of the total small island states worldwide, I mean, it doesn't add up to any measurable fraction of what one developed country such as the United States or any of the European developed countries would emit on any given day. So the small island states have, I think, made quite a case for themselves in letting the more developed countries know that, hey, whatever is happening now as it pertains to climate change, etc., is not our fault. Okay, a lot of it has to do with your actions, and we think that that you should right now step up to the plate, and I'm very confident that this trend will continue.
A highlight of SIDS 2014 was the signing of the historic SIDS Doc, a Sustainable Energy and Climate Resilience Treaty, at the 3rd International United Nations Conference on SIDS in Samoa. This conference, held every decade, was attended by a Dominican delegation headed by the Honorable Minister Dr. Kenneth Daru. SIDS Doc is the linking agent between the energy sectors in 31 small island developing states and the global finance market. The establishment of a Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, CCRE, is the latest in green energy pursuits for the region and is in keeping with government's strategic program for climate resilience under the Growth and Social Protection Strategy.
This, for me, is a major initiative, and for SIDS Doc, it is part of our strategic plan to move out to our membership, especially through the regions, and to bring the activities closer to the members. The Regional Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Center could help to create within the Caribbean the capacity that we need to transform the energy sector, to move away from the old fossil fuel into clean, renewable energy that will reduce the cost of electricity for our people.
Earlier that year, a Memorandum of Understanding was signed for the establishment and first operational phase for renewable energy and energy efficiency centers in the Caribbean by His Excellency Dr. Vince Henderson, Dominica's ambassador to the United Nations, who also chairs the SIDS Doc Steering Committee. This strategy, endorsed by the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit on the 11th of April 2012, works to facilitate Dominica's transformation to a low-carbon, climate-resilient economy while addressing pressing development, livelihood and poverty issues confronting the country. The focus on SIDS also saw Dominica's progress in the development of its geothermal resource. The then Honorable Minister for Energy, Rayburn Blackmore, says this will be the greatest legacy the Dominica Labour Party administration will leave in the spirit of reaching energy independence in Dominica.
I believe what we're doing right now in geothermal development is going to transform this country and create the platform for the emergence of a new Dominica. Mr. Speaker, let's look at the energy situation in this country. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, 66% of our energy matrix come from diesel. Another 44% come from hydro. Now, we are going to see the emergence of an Dominica when Dominica shall become, and we're well on our way to achieving that reality, Mr. Speaker, to becoming the first country to be a net exporter of energy, more so a net exporter of geothermal energy. The first country. That is commendable.
Honorable Blackmore was addressing the House of Parliament on July 29, 2014. Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru, who is also Minister for Health, says these achievements have resulted in increased global and local awareness on the plight of SIDS. The United Nations has also placed significant emphasis on curbing the spread of chronic, non-communicable diseases, encouraging greater government action. According to the Honourable Minister, over that period, his administration has increased public health and environment awareness, educating the public, youth and adults alike. Honourable Dr. Darius says the organization of SIDS should not go unnoticed.
We have this AOC subgrouping at the United Nations Alliance of Small Island States, and even the Caribbean states such as Grenada took a leadership role for this grouping for a number of years, especially during the issues and forum conferences of climate change. And I must commend the former Minister of Grenada, I think the Honorable Carl Hood, who is no longer a minister, but he gave great leadership in putting the case of small island states forward.
According to the Honourable Minister, during the past year, SIDS have made tremendous strides in the realization and implementation of plans such as the Green Fund and the Climate Resilience Project. Currently, as a result of ongoing efforts for climate change resilience, a team from the World Bank is on island to commence the implementation of a $103 million pilot program in Dominica. He is confident that small island developing states can look forward to a lot more development in 2015 and years to come.
Thank you, Tasia, for that report. And before we leave, take note of these announcements. The Youth Development Division invites applications from young men and women wishing to pursue training with the Youth Skills Training Program in Computer Skills at Castle Bruce, Roseau, Grand Bay, Portsmouth and Wesley, which commences in February. Applications are also invited for the Electrical Wiring and Woodwork programs. Application forms can be obtained from the Youth Development Division's office on Charles Avenue, Goodwill, or from district youth officers, and should be returned no later than January 30th, 2015.
The Roseau City Council wishes to advise vendors selling marketable commodities on the sidewalks on Old Street, King George V Street, Cross Street, Independence Street and other areas in the city that they should desist from this practice effective 31st January 2015. In accordance with legislation, all marketable commodities must be sold at the designated place, that is the Roseau Market. Vendors refusing to comply will be prosecuted.
Persons wishing to vend for the carnival season must obtain and fill out the necessary application form at the office of the Roseau City Council and pay the associated fees prior to the erection of any bars or stalls on the sidewalks for Carnival Monday and Tuesday, February 16th and 17th respectively. This also applies to vending outside of the respective venues where carnival activities are being held in the city of Roseau. Bars or stalls erected without the necessary authorization of the council will be confiscated and the fee will be imposed for repossession of the same.
As part of its ongoing Black Sigatoka Management Program, the Division of Agriculture wishes to advise farmers that spraying commenced in all 7 agricultural regions this week. Farmers are urged to deleaf all affected plantain and banana trees and to clean up fields as soon as possible. Those fields which are not cleaned will not be sprayed. Your usual cooperation is solicited.
Members of the public are reminded that in keeping with the provisions of Social Security Amendment Act 2 of 2012 and Social Security Amendment Regulations 4, 7 and 8 of 2012, the following changes took effect as of January 1st, 2015. 1. Increase in pensionable age shall increase from 61.5 years to 62 years. Notwithstanding the above stated increase, an insured person who has satisfied the necessary contribution requirements for receipt of an age benefit may at any time after attaining the age of 60 years opt to claim for the payment of a reducing age benefit. 2. Increase in the contribution rate. That is, the contribution rate in respect of employees, self-employed persons, and voluntary contributors shall increase by 1/4 or 0.25%. Further clarification on these changes can be obtained from the Office of Dominica Social Security.
And the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica has entered into financing arrangements with the World Bank for the financing of the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project. Government recognizes the need for strong engineering support during all works under the DVRP and wishes to engage the services of a project engineer. The contract will be for 2 years in the first instance. Applications with detailed curriculum vitae should reach the Permanent Secretary, Helen Royer, in the Ministry of Health and Environment by 4 p.m. on Friday, February 6. See the full description on our website news.gov.dm on the announcements page. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, travail qui bien formidable à ce projet abattoir. Parole celle-là sortie au ministère Agriculture, Honorable Johnson Drago. Ministre Drago visite le projet là, check temps qui passait.
Eh bien, abattoir, mon une chance, visiter abattoir semaine passée. Comme ça, abattoir, c'est un $10 million projet qui gouvernement Venezuela ba nous un gift et puis quand on a parlé abattoir il a 60% complete. Nous avons dépensé pour juste $6 millions les abattoirs. Nous avons l'autre $4 millions pour finir abattoir. L'année on petit challenge et puis ils a fait construction company. Quand nous finir le challenge nous abattoir qui fini nous qui fini abattoir en même temps gouvernement a fait plusieurs argent bah habitants farmers ça fait livestock pour moun lever cochon nous ca supporter yo pour les nous qui abattoir qui commencer nous qui payer assez pour avec cochon horde habitants moun pays même qui produire pour nous ça commencer abattoir ou ça intention là c'est pour couper les affaires valer viande cochon et puis pour nous amener au dehors pays et nous qui ni export ka venir au Venezuela pour aider nous avec les affaires abattoir comment pour toutes ces technicalities là qui en affaires abattoir et nous qui ouvert abattoir nous regarder plus tard dans ça pour bénéfice domicile.
En d'autres nouvelles, le département de police qui a fait parole qui a chaîne sécurité bien wed pendant masse Dominique qui est ouvert samedi qui vient. Selon superintendent police David Andrew, le département a mis un plan bien formidable pour adresser cette situation-là. Andrew fait parole qui plan ça là qui chaîne à de manière activité là à aller sans pièce incident grave. Aider yo qui empêcher crime, yo qui contrôler le trafic et puis sécurité tout mon ville aux et puis Dominique en général qui chaîne et des polices qui échoué carnival order to suite superintendent Andrew D you qui a été moun et puis femme et puis loi Dominique passe span moun ça fait ça vous voulez même si c'est carnaval et aussi qu'a créé à ce public là pour conduire manière musique fort qu'a jouer en ville spécialement tout pour l'occasion du département d'Ife et puis l'hôpital. Andrew a aussi créé à ce monde qui est équipement musique à bord voiture pendant parade. Il est aussi posé pour attention accident. Il est aussi supposé rouler là où là il met musique en place pour rouler. Andrew a aussi créé à ce public là pour sécuriser casa avant de partir. En d'autres nouvelles, une équipe division forêt en collaboration et puis EPIC qui a conduit recherche gibier diablotin qui devait courir en pays avec 50 l'année qui passée. Population animaux sala bien descend, raison pour tuer moun la chasse, chat et puis wat qu'a détruit. C'est l'officier département forêt Stephen Durand équipe là qui a conduit recherche pour déterminer conditions gibier là en Dominique.
Aujourd'hui là nous avons discuté research qui nous a conduit les oiseaux diablotins qui nous savent oiseaux ça mon diablotin tapé non et après c'est nous et puis nous on monsieur nous a créé Adam Brown de Epic et ici qu'a gardé compte là zouzou ça là, qui a existé en les Dominique, qui a servi en instrument radar pour garder ces places, diverses places en Dominique. Et instrument là qui a fait zouzou qui a volé la nuit, qui a sorti en ce monde ça et qui a allé en bord de la mer, et qui a sorti bord de la mer, qui a monté ces mondes aussi. Et c'est un bon bagage pour nous, parce que nous avons cru que les oiseaux ça pas de servi Dominique pour faire niche, pour faire pitié, et nous apprendre qui et puis research ça, qui ces oiseaux ça, qui servi ces mondes ça Dominique. Et il y a allé diverses places en Dominique, en Montwatt, Mont-Diablotin, Micotwin, divers villages Dominique, et il y a fait service pour ça, il y a tapé. Et ça, c'est important pour nous aussi, que si nous regardons là, les oiseaux ont servi, nous regardons pour nous continuer à faire travail. En ce monde, ça, pour si ces oiseaux ont fait actuellement, fait niche en ce monde, ça.
Et puis finalement, ça fait au la jeunesse, si vous connaissez dynamique carré comme single market en économie, ça a fait attention pendant un workshop, un jour, pour teacher en Dominique. Workshop ça là, qui était facilité par le ministre Commodité, en collaboration et puis secrétariat CARICOM, ça prend place la semaine passée. Il a expecté que le workshop là, qui bat ces teachers là, bon détail, qui concerne carré comme single market en économie, et puis manière pour eux ça mener en classroom pour étudier ailleurs. En même temps aussi, pour le secrétaire en ministre éducation Marcella Powell, il a gardé devant l'initiative là, tapé succès. Directeur commodité Marfan Walter, qui a gardé workshop là, création chimère pour jeunesse embrasser intégration régionale par carré comme single market and economy. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi, c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
You remember having to take cod liver oil as a child, but what does it actually do for the body? Find out next.
Think water, think life. Water refreshes, restores, cleans, and enhances growth. Potable water is a benchmark for development. DOWASCO is serious about its mandate to ensure easy access to potable water island-wide and provide sewage services for a cleaner environment. DOWASCO is your water and sewage company.
Cod liver oil has high levels of the omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, and very high levels of vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E. It is widely taken to ease the symptoms of arthritis as well as other health benefits.
It has also been clinically proven to have a positive effect on the heart, bone and brain, as well as helping to nourish skin, hair and nails. Cod liver oil taken by nursing mothers improves the breast milk by increasing the amount of fatty acids, which promotes brain development, and the amount of vitamin A, which helps prevent infections.
Interesting.
Quite so.
Yeah. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, I'm Jarna, Hector.
And I'm Kimani. Thanks for watching, and join us again next time on National Focus.